Welcome to KeepItReal Studios, the only channel on YouTube that keeps it real.
God bless. See you at the top. There's a new king in the lightweight division.
Chandler, bona fide UFC lightweight contender.
That's why you paid the big bucks for Michael Chandler.
Chandler, maximizing the debut.
God bless. See you at the top.
Iron Michael Chandler, the self-proclaimed most entertaining lightweight on the planet. This dude is a beast. He's a warrior. Ever since he stepped foot and graced his presence in the UFC organization, every single one of his fights have been a bloodbath. From facing opponents like Charles Oliveira to Dustin Poirier to Justin Gaethje, those are some fights you gotta see. So in today's video, I'm just going to be doing a quick little review on Iron Michael Chandler as a fighter. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of my thoughts, opinions, and I'm also going to kind of break him down a little bit and give him an overall review as an MMA fighter. Now I'm just going to focus a little bit on Michael Chandler's notable wins and notable losses. So focusing on his wins first, definitely his win over Tony Ferguson. If you look back on that fight, Tony Ferguson actually looked good in the first round. If you actually watch that fight back, you can actually see Tony Ferguson doing good, and he actually knocks down Michael Chandler at a point in time, and he was actually looking like shades of old El Kakui. You know, everybody thought Tony Ferguson was cut back, you know, it was looking like his old self again. Then Michael Chandler going into the second round, hit him with the craziest front kick in UFC history, man. And nobody has ever seen Tony Ferguson go out like that, man. Even Justin Gaethje didn't even put him out like that. And Michael Chandler was able to do that to him. At Bellator 58, Michael Chandler went up against Eddie Alvarez. This is one of the greatest mixed martial arts fights of all time. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen this fight in a long time, go back and watch it because it's crazy. I don't even want to go into too much detail on it. If you've seen this fight before, you know why it's on this list. At Bellator 157, Michael Chandler went up against Ricky Pitbull, and the knockout of this fight was crazy, man. It was a first round knockout, and it's one of the fastest and most crisp and well-timed knockouts you ever see, and overall it was just a crazy win, and that's why I have it on this list.
This one actually is sweeter. You know, I think losing it the first time, and then not just losing it, but going through the downs that I had, you know, going through the streak that I had was tough, and I don't think a lot of people would have, you know, been able to, you know, do what I've done and bounce back like I have, and it's just a testament to hard work.
Moving on to Michael Chandler's notable losses. Starting off, it's a toss-up between Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje. Looking at the Justin Gaethje fight, that was an absolute banger, man. It was a war. It was the fight of the year. It was such an insane fight. The first round was crazy. The second round was crazy, but not as crazy as the first round. And the third round, that's when Gaethje started easing in. He started picking his shots more and was being a little bit more patient and won by decision. But his fight with Dustin Poirier, the first round was crazy, man. To be honest, I actually do believe Michael Chandler won the first round with Dustin Poirier. I believe Dustin Poirier did win the end of the round. Then moving on to the second round, that was complete dominance by Michael Chandler. Even though he was doing a lot of illegal moves on Dustin Poirier by fish-hooking him and a lot of different stuff. But by the third round, you know, Michael Chandler showed great display of strength, brought Dustin Poirier down, but Dustin Poirier reversed it, got on top, got his back, and choked him out. So that was a very good win by Dustin Poirier, and that's why I'm still kind of giving Dustin Poirier a little bit slight advantage, because he did finish him, but I do believe overall the Justin Gaethje fight was more crazy and more of a spectacular one. Another notable loss from Michael Chandler's career came from the hands of Patricio Pitbull at Bellator 221. So this was actually a controversial loss because a lot of people thought that the fight was stopped a little bit too early. But overall, you kind of look back at the knockout, man, it did look like Michael Chandler got hit hard. And Even though the referee didn't stop the fight, he was Patricio Pitbull was still on top of Michael Chandler. He could have just thrown more shots. You know, it's better to be kind of safe than sorry. So I would say this was a solid stoppage. At UFC 262, Michael Chandler went up against Charles Oliveira for the lightweight championship of the world. I'm putting this loss on the list because Michael Chandler came so close to becoming the lightweight champion in UFC, because he rocked Charles Oliveira very badly in the first round and it looked like he was on his way to victory. Then in the second round, Charles Oliveira hit Michael Chandler with one of the greatest comebacks in UFC history. He caught Michael Chandler on the chin, chased him down, and knocked him out, and became the lightweight champion of the world.
In the spine, I came with the fellas. Ray Mac got hit in the back of his melon.
Overall, Michael Chandler is a great fighter, man. Ever since he stepped into the UFC, every single one of his fights have been absolute classics, man. Even his fights back in Bellator. But overall, just grading Michael Chandler as a fighter, I would say he's a little bit past his prime now. So maybe around a 6.8 to a 7 overall as a fighter. I would put him higher because Michael Chandler is a phenomenal wrestler. And he also is good in the striking, and he's very powerful. Look at every single one of his fights, man. He always has his opponents hurt, and he always looks like he's gonna win. But that's where the problem starts, man. He has one of the worst fighting IQs in history, man.
Do me one favor. Don't go wild.
Don't go wild?
Don't go wild in the fight.
I never go wild.
No, get the out of there,
I never
right?
go wild.
Listen,
I'm
right?
always right
Why
where I
want
need
to
to
fight
be.
is me,
I
right?
never go
Right?
wild.
Michael Chandler's the type of guy, he has you hurt, and he'll decide to take you down for some reason, man. I believe if he had better fight IQ, he'd probably be the champion right now. I feel like he actually stands a good chance, better than a lot of other fighters, because he has good wrestling, and he's very aggressive, and he's going to start off very sharp. You know, I feel like he has a better chance. That's it for today's video, man. Thank you all so much for watching. Tell me some of your thoughts and feelings about Michael Chandler overall as a fighter. Tell me what you rate him out of 10. Tell me some of your favorite fights from Michael Chandler. And also, please give me some suggestions of which fighters you'd like to see me review in the future. But that'll be it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to keep it real.